What's up, everybody? It's
Love
Mal
that
with.
intro.
It's awesome, isn't it? This is Mal with Nifty Culture. I'm joined by Nick for another segment. Today, we're talking again about CryptoRaiders. Who we're not just focusing on CryptoRaiders, but you guys have hit your stride in terms of your roadmap fundamentals and everything that you have going on right now. It's been exciting to see, and right now we have the heroic Hogger that's released, and apparently we're seeing some dead NFTs popping up. What's up with that?
Yeah, so this was a really exciting update. So this was our like we released the initial combat dungeon, right, which was very easy, and you can pretty much win it even like 80% of the time like naked, right? So like that was the easy thing for people to get into the kind of start of it, get some better gear, etc. So then Ro uh grinded out the heroic version of the combat dungeon. So now when you go in, you have a choice to either do the normal dungeon or do the heroic dungeon. And the heroic dungeon is really hard. Like you got to be at least level 4, if not level 5. You have to be What's really exciting is people are theory crafting now because you have to have like a good stat mix, like a good build. Like there's some different stat strategies. So like a lot of people are saying right now, like intelligence plus wisdom, like trying to max those out is a really good strategy. But like even the best geared raiders right now probably have like a 20 to 30% win rate um, on the heroic version of the dungeon. So it's very hard. Most people are getting absolutely wrecked. But let's give it a go. Yeah, go heroic one. Just because this is on the live stream, I can get you an extra dungeon run on this person. But do it normal first.
I'm gonna do
Um,
a couple. I'm only level 4, and I've
yeah,
got.
it's gonna be tough. Honestly, it's gonna be tough. But one of the cool things that's in this dungeon is since it's heroic, not only are the stats on the items slightly better, and we're probably gonna beef them a little bit more on next week's reset. But now you have a low chance of getting one of these spell runes. Um, and there's 4 current spell runes. There's Escape Artist, Bash, Evasion, and Blind. And they are not currently functionable, but in a future dungeon they'll be functional. But these essentially will be special moves that will be on your screen. You're 2 hitting this guy. If you just hit a critical attack, 40, was that 45?
46. Yeah.
46. I don't know. You may have a shot at it. Maybe not this week, but next week, getting in heroic, you may have a decent shot because you're hitting like a truck right now.
I'm
What do you got?
missing a lot though.
Yeah, so that's a challenge because with this amount of missing on heroic, you'll get wrecked because he's clawing you at like 25 HP. Um, but anyways, these spell runes, they'll almost be like special moves that'll be like right next to your attack button. So we haven't fully said what they're gonna do, but like, some of them will like increase your evasion for 2 turns, or increase your damage or your crit chance, or like your chance to hit. You know what I mean? So these spell runes are now like an additional layer on the game that's going to give people like even more optionality in how they spec and how they try to beat bosses, et cetera, et cetera. So it's uh it's a really fun update. It's awesome because now people are really theory crafting in the Discord. I actually saw an OpenSea today. Um, we had a couple of buys. Leroy mentioned this. There was a couple of buys where people were buying raiders above the floor because they were leveled up and geared. So people are like
Oh
hearing about
wow.
they're hearing about the game, and they're like, okay, like I want to come in and be ready to rumble. I don't want to spend weeks kind of grinding up my hero. So that's a really cool effect that we've seen as well. And then we have a really exciting roadmap coming out. So or that just came out rather.
Yeah. Let me finish this one real quick, and then I'll pull it up. So is that runaway only available if you're playing heroic, or is that still not available?
Yeah, it's still not available because there's like no chance right now that you like lose gear or anything like that.
Oh, but I thought you could die against heroic Hogger.
No, else people would be really depressed today. People are already depressed enough
I
in
thought I
in
saw
in
one
the
died,
dungeon.
or did someone just say that it died?
I think someone just like because you can see him turn into like a ghost on the fade screen. Um,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
So you should be gambling. Oh, but you don't get XP if you lose.
that's the thing. Yeah, so
Yeah.
like right now you get 500 XP if you win Hogger, you get 333 if you run normal. So unless you're kind of like statted to the moon, it's probably like plus EV right now to just run normal and like XP up and level up, and then
Right.
like um and then Hogger will become, eventually easier, and then people are really going to start farming Hogger because the spell runes are pretty rare, and pretty much everyone's going to want one of those, if not a couple, to be able to like run different specs depending on what your gear looks like.
All right, I'm gonna do one more normal. I've got one better that I might run at the end if
This
we
Tammy
have
looks pretty
time.
duck. She's got the silver on silver.
Wah,
It's good luck.
wah. It's a good look. I tell you what, like it is pretty interesting to just start thinking about what this game looks like and how much everything's starting to come together
Yeah.
so quickly. Like
I mean, you were there from the beginning when it was a shell,
it
if
was
that.
it's one of those things like you bet heavy on it and you just say like it sucks because I bought, at one point I had like almost 20 Tammies and like I paper handed like, well, I didn't paper hand, but I was selling Tammys at like 0.3 for a while. So I'm still not upset with some of it, but it's like if I had known now what I knew then, it's like, oh wow, like who would think? People don't realize, like you were talking about it when I shared that video of even before you and I really knew each other. Like we were chatting in one of those discords on Nifty Gateway, and like joking around and stuff. And you're just like, would you rather have 5 of these crappy NFTs or one X copy? And it's like, I had everyone watched that, they would have had like $400 X copies at the time.
If I had listened to my own advice, I'd be a very, very rich man. But
Yeah,
sometimes it's easier to give advice than actually make those hard decisions.
yeah. The X copy DAO would have been the
The
right play in
play. That would
hindsight.
have been the play. We'd all be looking shopping for yachts and islands right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, so the October update. We're starting to see some of this. We talked week. I have 8 of the mobs, and I was really happy with my win. I got 1 of the purple, 6 greens, and 1 gray.
Oh wow,
So
you rolled great.
yeah, I did really well. And then one of the CryptoRaiders team donated one of the old men to us, and it was still in our wallet from a giveaway that we had done, but the guy never gave us his ETH address. And so we got a mob, and before it revealed, we did a giveaway for that
Even
mob, and
cooler.
it was a purple,
No
and we were able to
way.
give it. Yeah, we gave a purple away, which at the time was like 0.3 ETH.
Oh yeah.
So like just
It has
being a
pulled back a
member,
little bit, as most things do, but like you literally
yeah.
did a giveaway for 0.3. That's so cool.
Yeah, it was so awesome, and so thank you to you and the
Anytime, and we
CryptoRaiders
appreciate
team.
everything you all do for us. We'll be sending more giveaway
Yeah,
material for you.
definitely. So, all right, so we've got some updates that are happening, and like now it's interesting because you're catching, right. You're keeping up with
Yeah.
the roadmap, and like this is a pretty aggressive thing, right? You've already released the heroic Hogger,
Yep.
the spell and skill item drops, and it works. People are getting wrecked, but it's already working. And so a week from now, so every Wednesday you're going to have a reset.
Yeah.
And so essentially, basically, right after this, you're going to be implementing stat changes and new attacks. So can
Yeah,
you
so
provide us
before
a little?
next reset, we're gonna make some stat tweaks. We're gonna get rid of some of the common weapons on the heroic loot table, just to make the overall loot that you're getting from heroic, significantly better. So we're gonna make those quality of life improvements, and then we're also going to add Aurum dungeon reset capability, and there'll be more details in the Discord this week. But we've come up with a really good system where it's going to be progressively more expensive, so people aren't just going to be able to like play to win their way to the moon. And also we're going to cap uh dungeons at like the highest level, so like someone can't just like pay and just shoot past everyone else. It's more designed for, like, right now if you buy a naked unleveled crypto raider on the market, you're 9 weeks behind. You're almost 30 dungeon runs behind. They'll never be able to catch up to the top unless there's this Aurum where they can pay Orem to run some more raids. But what we do is we make it progressively more expensive every batch that you buy in a given week, and then it resets every week. So it makes it so it's like if someone wants to go from 0 to 100, it's much more expensive than if they just want to like kind of double the runs every week until they can catch up to the crowd. But in order to remove the play to win uh, potential, you can't just raid past everyone else or level past everyone else. There's a hard cap where you can't buy any more dungeon. So that's coming out. And then October 28th, we have a new dungeon dropping with Minions a Boss. It's going to be Halloween themed. There's going to be some special, like, you only can get it once Halloween loot that like aesthetically looks really cool. Ken did a great
Some
job on
Animal
it.
Crossing stuff going on.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then we'll probably after Halloween, or we'll let it run for a couple of weeks, but we'll just like reskin it to be a normal dungeon. But now we're looking at like a real progression of a game where someone can buy a naked unrated person, level up on Hogger, right? Then they can make the decision like, do I try some Hogger heroics, or do I go to this new dungeon update that's happening on the 28th? So they have that option as well. Or do I go grind the new dungeon then go back to heroic? So there's a lot of decision making. People are talking about builds and stuff like that. So that's all on the dungeon side. Then Nat, who's just continuing to crush it for us, he's taking care of the auction house, which is coming out soon. Gear NFTs are a little ways away because we're porting to Unity. That's a big move, so we have to kind of engineer some things together. But then the last dev update, we're doing like a big website upgrade where the website's going to have all of the new art on it. It's going to have like guides on it. It's going to eventually have like a bestiary section and like an item section where you can see a lot of stuff. So we're really beefing up the website because we're basically, with all this progress we've done, we feel confident that in a couple of weeks we can start to do some big marketing pushes. We got so much on the roadmap, so I'll just keep plowing it through it with you. And if you
No,
like
I mean,
anything or
yeah,
you want to
let's
call it out,
pause here because I know that
yeah,
you and I both have a hard stop to keep this one short and concise and test out the algorithm. But
yep,
it's just impressive to see like what you guys are doing so quickly, and just to see that the mobs already are. I'm really excited to see what those mobs start looking like. You're starting to see a lot of that pixel
so
art.
this weekend we should reveal about like a third of the art
Yeah, and that so
for
you're
mob.
doing it in 3 batches.
Yeah,
That's awesome. In terms of like the next steps, I do want to dive into, because I was thinking about it quite a bit. There's two simultaneous things that I wanted to talk to you about, and we can, if I'll put the link to the roadmap for anyone that's
great.
watching this live. Or, oops, that's not it. I'll click that. It's in SFW. Just kidding.
Yeah, and then at the end of the month too, there's going to be a another recruitment event, Gen 3. We're doing something unique. We're sliding Gen 3 all the way down the scale, so it'll start with no Orem bonus, and that way we can price it much more affordably. So we're trying to do a big recruitment event where we can get a lot of cheap raiders out there, so that the barrier to entry for new gamers, they can get in very affordably.
Right.
And then we're going to pair that with some big marketing pushes.
Okay, so that brings up three things that are important for me and the community that
Yeah,
we're kind of close to. So the first thing that you mentioned, and I think that this is important, is like I have 7 Tammys left, I think, and like it does take some time to run them. And if you stop
yep.
running them, like if you
You
go
fall
off
behind.
tab, it doesn't complete the dungeon. And like if you start it and complete it, you don't get the XP if you come back, which is great. So one of those other things is that if you're not running all of them, you do have certain characters that fall behind.
Yep.
You've hinted that scholarships may be coming in the future. Do you want to talk about that at all?
Yeah, so in November we're going to be launching our version of scholarships, but it's more than that, and it's called guilds. And so how guilds will work is that guilds are basically, houses for groups of people that have common interests or community, or for people that have um, a bunch of raiders and they want to allow friends to come in and play, or if they want to hire scholarships to come into play. But basically, if you think about it, there'll be like a guild management dashboard. You'll be able to invite people to your guild. You'll be able to assign them roles. So like this person can play any any raider and they can do anything with my raiders. This person can, uh, just raid easy mode or only raid these couple of characters. So what's going to be fun is there's going to be a big community aspect where like guilds can get together and do things together, or people can use that as a scholarship route and have people or friends that just want to play the game raid for them, and they can give them some sort of upside, like, hey, if you get good gear, like, I'll give you half the money or whatever like that. But the real exciting thing about guilds is that we're going to create guild auras. And basically, you're going to have to farm shards in game, guild shards. So some of them will drop in combat dungeons, some of them will drop in fishing, some of them will drop from crafting or disenchanting. And you basically put these shards on your guild contract, and then it'll give anyone in the guild like some sort of aura bonus. And maybe you get plus 5% damage in a dungeon, or maybe you can fish an extra 3 times a day or something like that.
That's pretty sick. That's going to be really neat, especially as you think these mature. And I think it's really interesting that you're taking the approach that you're trying something new and fresh when you think about like the economy and stuff, where you were going to have this scaled down Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3 types of things. I did want to ask you about the economy and
Yeah.
Aurum and Raider, because what's really interesting is like I'm in the liquidity pool, full transparency. I'm investing in this project. They're not giving me anything, so it's not an ad, but I do want this to be successful because I have some investment. Ooh, Crusader's cloak.
That's a good drop right there.
I do have some reasons that I want this to work out for me. So when you think about the economy, what's really interesting right now is that the APR on the liquidity pool has dropped because everyone's doing the same thing I am, and even the staking APR has dropped quite a bit.
Yep.
And the APR for both the Raider Matic and liquidity pool and Aurum Matic liquidity pool are lower. They're not. I mean, they're still 250%, right?
Yep.
What does that mean? Does that mean that there is excitement and that everything? I'm gonna do it, dude. Now that I got this Crusaders cloak, we're gonna go ham.
Go for it.
And we'll see if it works.
Dude, so like it's a great question. So one of the ways that's going to increase the APR of staking Raider is if there's more Aurum sinks, right? So there needs to be more people spending Aurum in game. That's going to fill up the Raider staking, and then those rewards will go up. So that's why like the Aurum dungeon reset's big, because now someone may come in, buy a Raider, and say, hey, I need to play catch up. So they're spending $15 a week in Aurum. And half of that is going to Raider stakers. So that's what's going to increase the APR there. So that's why we're pushing the envelope. The auction house is all going to be priced in Aurum. We need these things set up so that there's rewards coming into there. But those APRs will still very likely fluctuate. I'm not as good at Nat on the tokenomics. I think that you're getting some swings in. Yeah, he's hitting you hard though. That's a good hit.
Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm not going to make it.
Yeah, just too many misses.
Yeah, but I mean that's pretty interesting about the Aurum, and I know that the goal here is to really just create a vibrant and healthy community. Dang, not going to make it. So I didn't die here.
No, but that was a respectable run. You got him below 50%.
Let's see if he's okay. Ooh. All right, maybe I can get lucky and get a rare item. All right, we just have like 1 minute left. I'm curious if they're now I lost some XP. We're gonna do this again.
Look at you, you're already you're already theory crafting in your head. You're already like, shit, I lost 300 XP. Okay, shit.
Yeah, no, it's
you look close to level 5 too, so probably next week you'll run a couple normals and hit level 5, and then you'll get some more stat. Make sure you're allocating all your stats, by the way, too. We're gonna do a stat reset before the next dungeon.
Someone in the comments said that you already did a stat reset. Is that
No, we made a stat adjustment.
okay?
So we adjusted how some of the stats influence like evasion, hit chance, and damage and stuff like that. But we're gonna reset your I guess we should call them talents. We're gonna reset your talent stats, and then you can try to like spec it a little bit more meaningfully.
Is that going to be? I mean, you kind of have to, because like you create stats so that the game's more fun, but now you need to let people that may have been lazy and Diablo 2ing it. Is there going to be a point in the future, and this will be my last question because then you have to wrap, is there going to be a point in the future where you have to spend, a substantial amount of Aurum
And see, now you're getting it, and that's why like Raider staking, it's more of like a play on like how well can we develop this game and develop a healthy, thriving ecosystem, because you're 100% right. One of the next things we're going to do is we're going to allow you to pay to reset your stats. So if you think about a player, if they get a new like really good weapon, like if they get Blade of the Beast, the super rare, now their stat distribution has changed. Like what they're trying to spec for and what kind of build they want have changed. Well, they have to go reset their talent tree then. So a lot of people are going to be willing to, pay $3 an Orm or something like that to get a reset right away. What we are going to commit to as a team is that if we ever make adjustments to stats that influence the game, we'll always give people a free stat reset, because we've changed the dynamics. You should be able to adjust to that on the fly. But then, yes, we do want to open the opportunity where if someone wants to, go in and say, okay, I got a new weapon, I want to change my stats out right now, they'll be able to pay, an Orm fee and do that. And then that is in it that, part of that will flow back to the Raider stakers.
That's awesome. And yeah, I'm not Rob, by the way. I just noticed that we've been so gung ho on running this today.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure. And I mean, that's something we want to keep
meant
an eye
Rob,
on.
like my name says Rob today. I don't.
Oh, it does. Yeah. How did I
going.
just notice that, dude?
I didn't notice. We just
Rob, you've really changed.
Hey man, thank you so much. I appreciate that you're willing to do this. We both share
Always,
this.
I love it.
I know you guys have the nifty alpha that you're running as well. Yeah. So shout out to Pio, shout out to Nick, shout out to you. I love the community. This is a lot of fun. I hope people see value in this, and the having you on to talk about CryptoRaiders is awesome. We need to do another video soon where we talk about everything wrong with the NFT wrapped DeFi projects that are just.
I would love to do a special on that.
Let's do one
it's
soon.
It's so garbage. At least like there's ones that are trying, like this like new bonsai kind of product came out, and at least there's like, it feels like an NFT. It doesn't feel like a DeFi product. All this other stuff that feels like a DeFi product, I don't like it.
Well, these are, if it's a game, but if it's like buy item, stake item, make money, and
get
that's
some magical currency,
you're not gonna make it. So anyway, thank you.
Maybe we're
so
just
much.
boomers, but nah, I'm not a fan either.
All right, man.
Thanks for having me on.